Kobe Bryant, 5 championships. LeBron James, 4 MVPs. In 2009, both of them flew to Houston and paid a retired center, who hadn't played in 7 years, 5 figures to teach them basketball. What could Hakeem Olajuwon possibly teach 2 of the greatest scorers in NBA history? Kobe already had 5 rings. LeBron was a 2-time MVP. They'd studied every film, mastered every move. So why pay premium rates to a 46-year-old retired center? Because Hakeem Olajuwon wasn't selling moves. He was selling certainty, the ability to know what a defender will do before they know it themselves. And by the end of this story, you'll understand why that knowledge was worth every dollar. Summer 2009. Kobe Bryant just won his 4th championship. He's 31 years old. He's on top of the world. And he knows something nobody else wants to admit. His body's breaking down. The explosiveness is fading. Those first step drives that used to be automatic are taking more effort. The dunks are harder. The lift is slower. Elite defenders had figured it out. If you take away his first step, if you force him to the post, if you make him work in the half court, you've got a chance. Kobe needed an intellectual edge. He needed to score without relying on his body. He needed to outthink defenders, not just outquick them. So he called Hakeem Olajuwon. Most people think Hakeem taught Kobe the dream shake. Wrong. Kobe already knew how to do the dream shake. He'd been watching Hakeem since he was a teenager. What Hakeem taught him was something you can't learn from film. He taught him the pause, the half-second delay that makes a defender commit before you even move. Hakeem would catch the ball in the post and read the defender's weight distribution. Which foot had pressure? Which way were the hips facing? Where were the hands? Then he'd wait. He didn't move on instinct. He waited until he knew what the defender was about to do. A slight shoulder feint, nothing dramatic, just enough to make the defender shift. The instant they committed, counter move, bucket. Kobe spent hours drilling this, not the move itself, but the read. The ability to see the future 1 second before it happens. As Kobe described in interviews, he focused on learning details like recognizing double teams, reading defensive pressure, and understanding the intelligence behind every decision in the post. This wasn't about adding moves. It was about elevating his basketball IQ. Now look at what happened next. The 2009 to 2010 season. When Kobe got the ball in the post, he no longer moved on instinct. He caught the ball, gave a tiny shoulder fake, waited for the defender's reaction, then attacked. Before Hakeem, Kobe's moves were quick and reactive. After Hakeem, he moved slower but smarter. He was scoring before the defender even knew what happened. The numbers told the story. His playoff efficiency improved. Scouting reports said his post-game became more methodical and precise. Kobe didn't just learn the dream shake, he learned to think like Hakeem, to see the game in slow motion while everyone else moved at full speed. But if Hakeem could turn Kobe, a pure scorer, into a post surgeon, what could he do for the most physically dominant player on earth? Because in 2011, LeBron hit a wall in the finals. 8 points in a finals game. The world called him a choker. But the Mavericks exposed something. LeBron's drive-first game was predictable. He needed a plan B. A way to score in the half court when the paint was crowded. A way to control pace instead of playing at warp speed. So, just like Kobe before him, LeBron called Houston. Summer 2011. LeBron flies to Houston. And Hakeem teaches him something that goes against every instinct in LeBron's body. Patience, not power. LeBron's entire game was built on explosion. First step to the rim, overpowering everyone. Hakeem taught him the opposite. Slow down. Feel the defense. Let the play develop. As LeBron later described, Hakeem's sessions helped him slow the game down and read defenses in ways he never had before. Hakeem wasn't just a scorer, he was a quarterback in the paint. He used the post to read defenses, reset the offense, and make the right decision. And that's what he taught LeBron, to use the post not just to score, but to see the game. LeBron returns to the finals, and this time, he's different. He catches the ball in the post, pauses, feels the defense shift, then either attacks or passes to the open man. That's not LeBron the freight train. That's LeBron the chess player. That's Hakeem's influence. In crucial playoff moments, LeBron's post usage increased dramatically, and it became one of his most reliable weapons. When he finally won his first championship in 2012, the post was his sanctuary, the place where patience met dominance, just like Hakeem taught him. Now, here's the question. If Hakeem's teaching was so valuable, why didn't Shaquille O'Neal ever train with him? Shaq was the most dominant big man of his era, but his philosophy was built on physical dominance, not deception. Hakeem's was built on manipulation. I'm going to make you think you know what I'm doing, then I'll do the opposite. Power versus patience, force versus finesse. And Hakeem proved finesse wins long-term because it's teachable, it transcends eras, it doesn't depend on size or strength. That's why Kobe and LeBron needed Hakeem. They needed something that would last even as their bodies aged. Many others followed. Dwight Howard, Amari Stoudemire, LaMarcus Aldridge, even Victor Wembanyama reportedly trained with Hakeem before entering the league. They all sought the same thing, the ability to think in the post, to read, to counter, to control. Now, let's talk about the cost. Reports suggest Hakeem charged 5 figures for these sessions, and players paid gladly. Kobe and LeBron came back multiple summers. Think about that. 2 of the most successful athletes in the world chose to pay Hakeem Olajuwon because he wasn't teaching basketball. He was teaching strategic intelligence, the ability to make million-dollar decisions in milliseconds. When one basket can mean a championship, an endorsement, a legacy, that becomes the best investment you can make. Fast forward to today. The NBA looks completely different. 3-point shooting, spacing, pace and space offenses. The post-up is almost extinct. But Hakeem's influence lives on. Joel Embiid, Anthony Davis, Nikola Jokic all use the post not just to score, but to read and control. The moves may change, but the principles, reading defenders, controlling pace, making the right decision, are timeless. So let's bring this full circle. Hakeem Olajuwon, 2-time champion, MVP, all-time blocks leader. But that's not his greatest legacy. His greatest legacy is that he proved basketball genius can be taught, transferred, and weaponized across generations. Jordan couldn't transfer his mid-range mastery. Shaq couldn't pass on his dominance. Magic couldn't teach vision. But Hakeem? He turned certainty into a teachable skill and passed it on to those who could carry it forward. So the question remains, does Hakeem's ability to teach greatness make him greater than those who couldn't? If basketball IQ is the highest form of genius and Hakeem could transfer it, what does that say about his place in history? Does influence count as greatness? Or is it only about rings and stats? Because if knowledge truly is power, then Hakeem Olajuwon might be the most powerful teacher the game has ever seen.